So you came to find out how I found these pictures. Well, one morning when I took my husband down to his office, we had one car then, and I let him off there, and I thought, well, I'll go past that building that we were going to tear down. He had decided to tear down a building because it was bringing in no money, and so he had ordered these people to come in and tear it down, and I thought, I'd go past there and look and see. So I went up Main Street and turned right on 6th Street, and I stopped in front of Mars Theater, and I looked to my right, and there was a man standing in the big window up in the top of that building, and he had a hand up here like this, and he was knocking a picture out of a gold frame. And I thought, my goodness. So I called up to him and said, don't do that anymore. This is Frances Slocum. She's the Indian girl who was captured when she was 5 years old. And the man that captured her took her into the woods and ran away, and they never could find her. And they looked and looked for her for years and years. And she was taken to a place near Fort Wayne, I think it was, and she found out that the man was pretty nice to her. He loved her because she had red hair, and she was a beautiful girl. She had freckles and red hair, and the Indians had never seen a girl with freckles and red hair, and he didn't have any children, and so he was delighted with her, and he took her, and they raised him. And then one day, they heard all this battle of the fallen timbers, and I think you will hear about that in history. And they were hiding not far from the battle, and after it was over, they thought they'd go and see what had happened. And the battle was between the British and, no, the Americans and the Indians. And the people that captured her, they took her with them, and they went around, and all those timbers were fallen, and they found a man who had been hurt badly, and they pulled him out of all the weeds and brush and trouble that he was in, bound his wounds, and got him into their canoe, and took him back home to their home, which was near Logansport, I think. And so there she is. She's been married now. She has these two daughters, but she had a son, two sons, and one daughter. This one she had, and she called her Cutfinger because Frances, when she was little, had been playing with her friends and her brothers, and they happened to hit her on the finger, and they smashed her index finger. And so they were hunting always for years for a girl with a smashed finger. And this is, you can't see it here, but so they named her daughter Cutfinger so that it would identify her as the daughter of this Frances Slocum. And this girl had a different name. Oh, it was Yellow Leaf. Yellow Leaf in this picture would not turn around because the Indians felt that if he put their soul on a piece of canvas, then when they died, they wouldn't ever be found by the Great Spirit, because when they die, they put a pole, and on the top of the pole would be a little fluttering white flag, so that the Great Spirit could find find their body and take their spirit up to heaven. And they used to go back to see if it had gone yet. And when they found the flag was gone, then they thought he had gotten there. So that's why she didn't want to be, it was a gamble with her. She would be in the picture, but she wouldn't turn her face around because she didn't want them to get her soul. That's why she turned her back.
Why did George paint Frances then? You said.
Well, she was painting her. She looks cranky. And this girl, she didn't want them to stay any longer. She was afraid of them. And she thought, she grumbled the whole time. And Frances was trying to say, don't you talk to me, don't you talk to me. And I have to do this for my brother. And she had promised her brother that she would let him take her picture home because she would not go. She would feel like a fish out of water if she went to live with the white people. And so later on, she asked one of the white people who were her relatives to come and live with her, which they did. And they were very prosperous when they came and lived there. They bought more property, and they lived there on her property. And of course, she had quite a lot of property because she had married the chief of all of the Miamis, and they were a big tribe in her day.